of hearts when every
crazy because I know a lot of people are like, you're moving, why are you doing this? Isn't this a lot of work when you're trying to sell your house? But you guys know me. And when it comes to living in our house, it doesn't matter if we're going to live here for 6 months or 6 years. It's our home and we want to live in it the way we want to live in it. I'm grabbing some laundry baskets because today we are doing a room swap. Maybe a couple days. But with Bobby, Bjorn, and Freya being up in Wisconsin, this is going to be the easiest time to do it. I've got Xander here with me. Boy's currently still sleeping. And yes, it's 12:30. I'm going to have to get him on a better routine with school starting up. But I'm going to start in Athena's room. She's up right now eating some protein pancakes that I made myself this morning, and I made her one this morning, which was so good. But I want to start emptying her room. That way when Xander does get up, he can help. We're going to start his room first. So the plan is the girls are going into the boys' room. The boys, Xander wants Athena's room again. And Bjorn is going into Freya's room. So it's just going to be a lot of moving stuff around. Nice thing is every room is nice and neutral, which you guys know I love my neutrals. This is why. So we're going to do a little room swap times 3.
still holds your place in your bed, showing no regret. Close your eyes to hide your lies, roll the dice. You got me tiptoeing around you like you made of glass. Got an invincible fence letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft.
I will say this ended up taking so much longer than I expected. I swear you don't realize how much stuff your kids have till you start moving it all around. I also didn't know the best way to go about this. So I was starting in what I thought was the easiest room, being Athena's room. But also knowing that with Bjorn and Freya being out of town, the biggest room for me to get ready was going to be this one. That way Xander could have his room all set up. Athena just needed her crib set up, and I knew that. I could put her crib in any room, and as long as she has her bed, her blankets, she is just fine. So that is why I also started in Athena's room first. I'm like, okay, if I can get everything out of here, then I can start on Xander's stuff in the boys' room and just kind of play it by ear. I also wanted to do this in a way that the entire house didn't get destroyed, because I know I could have emptied Freya's room all into the dining room or something, but that would have driven me crazy. I cannot handle too much mess and stress, so I did not want to do it that way. So that's why I made sure that I tried doing it in the most efficient way possible. And then I also didn't want to spend any money. Now, I may end up changing stuff a little bit more down the road, but man, I do love using neutrals for this reason alone. Is it made it where just by taking the things that the kids already had and moving them into the different rooms, they still screamed their personalities without having to spend any money at all. And I feel like we are all trying to save money to the best of our abilities. So being able to do that is huge. This sofa, though, we were holding on to it because it was kind of nice having it in this room. That way when Athena was playing and stuff, and I wanted to keep an eye on her, but I also wanted to work, I would come in here and sit on this sofa and work. But I did not have the room for it anymore, so we actually ended up giving it to my parents. My dad loves having a sofa in his garage because that's his man cave. So I was just quickly taking it apart. That way my mom could come and pick it up. She was coming over this afternoon anyway, and it made it so it was available for her, and I was able to do more of a cleaning. Xander actually had finally woken up now after I had gotten it pretty much emptied. So he was such a huge help, even if it was just keeping Athena occupied, because often when she's awake, it's really hard for me to get anything done. It's funny because she, for the longest time, was like not a snuggler, not wanting to always be held, all these things. And over the past like 2 months, she has become uber clingy, like super duper clingy. And it's hard for me to get anything done when she's awake because she's just always wanting to be on top of me.
When we go to bed at night, we won't turn out the light until we made it right and repair the fight. We talk about what's tough, not afraid to bring it.
So I do realize it might have been slightly easier to do this if I took their beds apart also, but I'm like, I think we can figure this out. And I don't know about you, but those little like star screwdrivers, what are they called? Like hex keys or whatever they are such a pain in the butt. They are so frustrating that I'm like, if I can figure out how to do this without taking furniture apart, I'm going to do that. Now, Athena's crib, there was no way. I had to take it apart, but even her crib, you can see I did the bare minimum when it came to taking it apart. That way, when it came to putting it back together, it could be quick and easy. The other thing I had to keep in mind is Athena still takes 2 naps a day. So I knew moving that bed and then moving Athena's crib was like very, very important to be done right away. That way I could lay her down for her nap. You do not want a baby that has missed a nap. That is just pure torture. So that's why this was like really important to me. I'm like, okay, if I get this made, she can go down for a nap and I can keep working on other things. But I also wanted to get all of Xander's stuff into his new room. That way, when she was napping, he could still play and do all his things and not just be like locked out of where his computer is, where his tablet is, all of his stuff. So I had him start working on moving his stuff around. That way, when we were done here, we were just done and Athena could go down for a nap because she was at this point, it had been a couple hours since I had started and she was definitely ready to go down. She normally goes down every single day in the morning around 9:30, 10. 10 is usually the more normal time that she goes down. And she will sleep till about noon. And then she takes another nap, usually around 3 o'clock, and will sleep from 3 to 5. So honestly, those are usually the hours that I get most things done is during those 2 naps. It's just the one time that I am not being like forced to sit on the couch or lay on a floor and play with her and do stuff like that. So that is what we were working on. Luckily, she does like sometimes play really good and really independently. It just really depends on her mood. You never know what mood you're going to get that day. But she did so well with her first nap in here. I was hoping that she has her crib, she has her mattress, she has her blankets, like she has her familiar things. She should sleep fine. And she definitely did. We didn't have any issue with transitioning her from one room to the next.
One more Saturday night, you're wearing them jeans so tight. I'll keep waiting for the perfect moment when you're dancing like that with that shirt and that hat. God, I'll need just one more drink to calm down. Ooh, you know I need you.
This was definitely something Xander was super excited about. So last year we made this room Xander's room. There's a whole thing. You guys probably all remember all of that. But the boys still really wanted to share a room. They enjoyed sharing a room. So they ended up moving back in. That's why both girls had their own room and the boys shared. And it was honestly only about less than a month ago that the boys mentioned wanting their own room. And I'm like, you know what? Let's wait a little bit longer. And the reason I did it at this time is with Freya starting school, we had to get her into a schedule of going to bed at a certain time. My kids will stay up late and sleep in. And I've never minded that too much. One, I'm someone that if I can sleep, I will sleep. Now, I'm often up way earlier than anybody, but I knew we had to get Freya onto a routine of going to bed and going to sleep at a certain time. She is almost 5 years old, and she will often still come in our room 3 to 4 times a night. And I'm like, we can't have that. Like, we need her to get used to just going to bed and going to sleep. And I figured with having her sister in the room with her, it's kind of one, she's not alone. And I know that's one thing that is a huge help of just having someone else in the space, but also being like, hey, we have to be quiet. We have to go night-night. Your sister's sleeping. And it has been now about a week of the girls sharing a room, and it has been going over really well. It's been a lot easier to get Freya to go to bed and stay in bed. She now only comes in our room once or twice during the night. But I think with school starting up, actually, you guys are seeing this on Tuesday. This is Freya's first day of school. I'm probably going to be a mess because whenever my kids start school, I'm always a mess. So with her starting kindergarten, I'm sure I'm going to be a hot mess today when you see this video. But I wanted her to be able to have that routine, start going to bed better. And I think after school starts, it'll be easier because kids are just tired, especially that first couple weeks when they're not used to the routine of school. It's usually a lot easier to get everything ready. But you can see we just moved over pictures and stuff. I'm still gonna have to fill holes and touch up paint, but I'm like, it's not a big deal. You can't see it. And right now, what I really care about is just getting everything moved over and everything looking really good. Because at the same time, we also had to keep in mind that we could get showings at any time since our house is on the market. I actually started this. We did a open house on Saturday. So I started this on Sunday because I'm like, well, this is going to take me 2 days. I let my realtor know, hey, if we have showings, make sure I have the 4 hours because this is what I am doing right now. And I don't want the house to be a hot mess. And that is also another reason why I was trying to do this in a strategic way as possible. So first goal on day one, honestly, was just breaking down all these really big items. All the kids' beddings are actually from Amazon. I have been so thrilled with the Amazon beds that I've gotten from them. It's also where I got their mattresses. And yes, they are comfortable. I know a lot of people have asked me because they're so thin if they are comfortable. They actually really are. And they weren't that expensive. And I got so sick of spending hundreds upon hundreds of dollars on mattresses because the kids end up just destroying them over time that I have been super thrilled with these. If I have to replace them in a year or two, I'm not going to be like, well, there's another $1,500 down the drain because I only spent about $100 on each mattress. They're comfortable and I'm not stressing out over the price on them.
Let me know, do you feel me too? Let it show, 'cause babe, I'm into you. We've been on and off, in and out, up and down.
Bjorn's room, I did a bit of rearranging, and you're going to see that here in a little bit. But I originally thought it would look best on this wall. I really like symmetry, and I liked the idea of it being here. I knew I could put his desk on the other wall. But you really have to take in consideration when it comes to your kids how they use their space. I know Xander is my one that's going to sit on his bed and read a book, plays video games. He's not as active, so floor space to him isn't as important, and having his bed in the middle of the room looks good and it functions really well for him. But I decided with Bjorn, Bjorn is super active. He's always, even when he's playing video games, often he's playing VR and jumping around and moving around and doing all this stuff. He needs a lot more floor space. And obviously, same with the girls. The girls have a ton of toys, especially now that we've combined them into one room. And they need the floor space to be able to play and do all of their things. So you really want to keep in mind how your kids are going to use the space. I know as parents, we want to think aesthetically, like at least I do. And I still kept that in mind when doing stuff. But you're never going to be able to maintain a good structured routine of cleaning and organizing and everything if you are working against how you live your life or how your kids live their life. So definitely keep that in mind when you are decorating, when you are rearranging, when you are organizing a space. Everything doesn't have to be Pinterest perfect. And often when we think of it being Pinterest perfect, we are hindering ourselves. You want to design your home when it comes to layout and organization and everything, not for you on your best days, but you on your worst days. And when it comes to your kids' room, organize for them on their worst days, not for them on their best days when they are like all about helping you out with cleaning and organizing, but on the days that they're just gonna throw stuff.
Yeah, on day 2 of this extreme room swap for all the kids. Yesterday, I got a lot of the like big stuff that needed to be taken apart and rearranged stuff done, which was good because I knew that would be a pretty big job. The hardest part so far has been working around Athena's nap schedule because she still takes 2 naps a day, and they're anywhere from an hour to 3 hours depending on her mood and her day. But Bobby and the kids get home tomorrow. So today I really have to wrap it all up as much as possible. If like there's stuff I have to do in the morning tomorrow, it's not a big deal, but the more I can get done today, the better, because I don't know how much time I'm gonna have tomorrow. So I'm grabbing coffee first because I need the coffee, and then we are going to get started on that. And I have to start in what is now the girls' room, previously the boys' room, and get all the boys' stuff out of there. So anything that's going into Bjorn's room, I need to put in Bjorn's room. Anything that's going into Xander's room, I need to put into Xander's room so he can put his stuff away. Thank goodness he is home, that he has been a huge help. And then everything that is the girls into the girls' room. That way I can just then go room to room, finishing it off. But it's going to be a lot because they got a lot of stuff.
If you believe in love, how will I feel it? If you believe in me, how will you let me in? If you
I actually decided I was saving the girls' room for last when it came to like really trying to organize it, because it was the most overwhelming. The boys' stuff, they just have a lot less things. They're not into the toys the same way that the girls still are. Bjorn more than Xander, but the girls' stuff I knew was going to be a lot to go through. So that's why I decided on this day I was going to start in Bjorn's room, bring in all of his stuff, start moving the girls' stuff just over. I was honestly just throwing it on Freya's bed for this time being. I had put our little movable desk in this closet while Bobby was out of town just because I don't usually use it. He's the one that uses it at night, and I figure for open houses. But I ended up putting that black tote. So that black tote just has some more like personal type items that I took down when we listed our house for sale, just to kind of help with staging the house, taking certain items off the wall. And I put it in Bjorn's room because he has the most closet space. With that huge closet and just one person, I knew it would be easiest stored in his closet than anywhere else. And then, as you saw earlier, I took half of this desk off. Now, I'm still trying to decide if I hold on to that half just in case for in the future, or if I just get rid of it. Currently, I'm also storing the half that we're not using in Bjorn's closet, but I might end up just getting rid of it. I really just have to decide. It probably makes more sense just to get rid of it, but It's so hard to like, this desk wasn't crazy expensive. Once again, off of Amazon. I love it. It works great. But it just, I have a hard time letting things go when they come in sets, which is funny because I always tell you guys, you don't have to hold on to something just because it's a set, but I often do, even myself. Like, I often question my own rules when it comes to cleaning and decluttering because it can be hard to decide. But as I was over here, I started bringing in all the toys. These cube organizers, I swear, are the best for kids' toys. You can organize them, but they're also hide away a lot of that clutter. If you're wondering what all those cords are, is we actually have our main internet modem in this room. So I did have to get a little creative with the way I was going to store it all. So I decided if I put this middle one up high, Athena can't reach it. Plus I can put Athena's baby monitor on top of it and easily see her crib and not have it on the wall like we did in her nursery before. But it still gave the girls all their storage. I like having the other two down though, because Freya loves playing with her Barbies and her dolls, and she'll make little like scenes and stuff. So it still gave her the space to be able to do that. But the taller one made it that Athena's not ripping down cords, because I don't know what it is about babies, but they are way more interested in the things they're not supposed to play with than the stuff they are supposed to play with.
I get dressed up to go downtown. I'm all messed up on a Friday night. Not really here for a good time, but if you're up for drinks and a good crowd, raise your glass to the sky. Let's toast to that. All these people can stare. I don't care about that. This is my pity party.
At this point, Xander was also still in bed. That boy can sleep better than anyone I know. Like, if I do not wake him up, he will sleep till like 2 in the afternoon. So even in the summer, I usually still try to wake him up around noon. But I feel like kids especially, they need so much sleep. They're growing, their brains are growing, all those things. So in the summer, I do let them sleep a lot. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It definitely makes getting them used to the school year routine a little bit more difficult. But I just always felt like if a kid is sleeping, they probably need it. So I just let them sleep. It allows me to get a bunch of stuff done anyway when the kids sleep in. But yeah, that's where he's at. So a lot of that stuff I did end up putting on the dining room table, because once again, I'm like, okay, let's figure this stuff out as much as possible before Athena goes down for her first nap of the day, and then I can just strictly work on Bjorn's room while he is napping. I'm just all over the place here, and I feel like sometimes you can be like super organized and figure stuff out, and sometimes you're just kind of going with the flow, especially when you've got 4 kids and a busy household. A lot of times you just have to kind of go with it. It all works out in the end. You just have to be very patient with how it all works out.
I'm gonna let the tears fall down. I'm gonna dance all night, yeah. I'm gonna let it all out. I'm gonna drink all night and then I'm gonna let the tears fall down. I'm gonna let it all out. This is my pity party. I'm gonna cry all night and I'll flip the bird at the guys. I don't need nobody. This
I would love to know your thoughts on kids sharing a room. And if your kids do share a room, do you find it helps out their like relationship and stuff? I always liked when the kids shared room, because I shared a room my entire life, literally, except for 1 year of my 34 years on this earth. I have shared a bedroom with somebody. So I always liked the idea of it. I felt like it really did create a stronger bond between me and my siblings when we shared rooms. And then obviously ended up getting married, and Bobby and I have shared a room our entire marriage and whatnot. So that is why I like the idea of kids sharing room, but I do also think as they get older, it is nice for them to have that independence. I know a lot of people have asked why we're not looking at a 5-bedroom house so that all the kids can have their own rooms. One, they're really hard to find 5-bedroom homes. And two, I look at it as the boys were good sharing a room till just this year. And they honestly wanted to share a room until this year. It wasn't a like forced thing. They were given the opportunity to have their own rooms and they weren't as happy with that. So I figured by the time the girls start thinking about wanting to share a room and it might become a thing, Xander's going to be a good amount older, and our goal, now we'll see if this actually happens, but our goal is when we get land and everything, I want to build tiny homes, like little studio apartment types tiny homes on our land. That way, once the boys turn 18, I don't want to kick my kids out of the house. I would rather them live with us as long as possible and save up money and be financially responsible and independent and comfortable before they ever move out. But I also think it's really good once you turn 18 to have more responsibilities and independence. So I would love to have those tiny homes so that when they are in college, I'm not saying, well, you have to be home by midnight or whatever because your siblings are sleeping, but they can have these like little apartments. So they still have the comfort and like safety net of mom and dad, but the independence of having their own place in a way.
Went for a walk with the stars last night. Did not believe that I would end up right. Lucky endings were not something for me. I drove around all across the land. Thought that I was caught in a one-man band, but playing all those sad and lonely.
As you can see, we hang up most of our clothes in this house. So other than like bottoms, so shorts and pants, and then underwear, socks, things like that, everything else we hang up. I have always just found this easier. I would rather hang things up than fold stuff. And I've mentioned before, we do a no fold method in our house for a lot of our things, especially the kids' stuff, where they have their like drawers organized. So certain things go in certain drawers, but I am not strict when it comes to folding things. I just, as long as it's in the right drawer, if I get a wild hair up my butt and I want to go through and KonMari fold everything, I will, but I never have that like feel like I have to situation. So it's kind of nice because that left half of his dresser that I was able to organize, the top with a lot of his art stuff, the middle one with video game type things, and then the bottom one with either crafts that he had made, books that he reads, just a random stuff. This bin though, as I was going through it, it was such a mess. There was trash and everything in here, random chips that had been open that I ended up just tossing. I'm like, I don't know how old these are, and they're all open without chip clips, so they're probably all nasty. So about half of this bin I ended up just tossing, but I did make sure to go through every piece to make sure I wasn't getting rid of anything that would be important.
Then you came along with the love so strong. You took me out of the cold into the fire. You're picking me up when I'm down on the ground. Whenever I'm alone, you are lifting me higher. And when I am lost, you make sure that I'm found. Out of the cold into the fire.
Now, I do have a favor for you guys. I need you guys to convince me not to paint murals on the walls in the kids' room, and that it doesn't make sense that we are selling our house and people like neutral and not specific. I have been looking up like different murals and stuff, and I'm like, oh, well, it could be really cool to do like some artsy like gamer stuff on the walls in Bjorn's room, but he has the artwork. Like, he's got his gamer stuff in here. And then I've been looking up really pretty floral murals that I could do on the black wall in the girls' room to give it a good girly pop of color. But at the same time, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Like, if you are looking to sell your house, Cambria, you do not need to do this. So I need you guys to convince me that I do not need to do this, because part of me really, really, really wants to. You guys know I love artsy stuff. I love doing personalized artwork in the kids' room. Like, as much as I like neutrals, I love a kid's room to be a kid's personality. Like, I don't want it to be just like a boring Pinterest room. Like, I want them to love it. And yeah, I just keep thinking like, well, I could do this, but I'm trying to convince myself that I don't need to do that, and that our goal isn't to stay in this house. So I need to just take a step back, and that it'll be okay the way it is for now. And that when we find our dream home and everything, I can do all those personalizations then.
We don't belong here. I want more out of life. The longer we stay here, our boots get stuck in the mud. Let's pack up a life, baby, and call it a night.
You can see this is when I'm like, okay, how am I going to lay this room out? So I moved the bed in the corner to see if maybe I liked that. And then I'm like, no, that's not going to work either. So I ended up putting it on the wall. The reason I don't love it on this wall is because of the windows and the curtains and everything, but it is fine. Honestly, those curtains stay open anyway, and this layout right here just works so much better for Bjorn. He has plenty of room to play his video games, plenty of room to do his art and everything. He's got the space to do it all. Also, if you noticed before that Xander ended up getting rid of his gaming chair, it was peeling and stuff. I love these gaming chairs and hate them all at the same time. They're super cool for the kids and stuff, but I have noticed they don't hold up really well. Like, they end up getting peely and everything. And if you have a kid that's like a nervous picker, which I do, Xander is definitely someone that like nervously picks at stuff, especially if it starts peeling. It's just a mess. So he ended up trying out the office chair that I had in the room that's his now anyway, and he really liked it. I got that because it was one of those like crisscross chairs where they're extra wide and you can sit there with your legs crisscrossed or up to your side, and that's how I prefer to sit, and he liked it as well. So I'm like, okay, perfect. Well, then we'll get rid of your gamer chair and we will just leave this one in here, and it's not peeling and falling apart anyway. So that ended up working out really, really well. The shelves in here, you can see it worked out really well for all of Bjorn's stuff, just giving it a more personalized setup with all of his stuffies that he really enjoys, his books that are easily accessible, all of those different things. We don't have a crazy amount of books in our house, but that is because I will get rid of books when they're not being read anymore and get new ones. I have had a lot of people ask where the kids' books are, and we don't have a crazy amount of books in our house. I actually enjoy being able to donate books and then take the kids to the bookstore or library and they get to pick out new books. Obviously, every year when they do the big like library, what is it called? Book fair at their school, the kids get to pick out a bunch of books there, and when they're done and not interested in them anymore, we donate them either back to the school or somewhere else. And it's kind of nice because it's never overcrowded. The kids know exactly what books they like. They're easy to grab, easy to read, and it's not an overwhelming bookshelf full of books that most of them aren't even being looked at.
The longer we stay here, our boots get stuck in the mud.
This was definitely the longest process. Athena was getting cranky just watching Mickey out in the family room and playing. So I ended up bringing her in here as I was working. It's easier to keep an eye on her, but you can see by the way she's following me around. She still just wanted to be held. She's like, come on, Mom, just pick me up. So eventually Xander did end up coming in and helping me again. He is such a great kid. Like, honestly, all of my kids are, but him and Bjorn with their little sisters, when I need help, they are so good at just coming and giving me, usually it's only like, hey, I need 15 minutes, I need 30 minutes. Like, I just need a little bit of time to really focus on this one thing and I will be done. And when I was doing this, I wasn't even worried about having everything perfect because I knew that I can come back and reorganize stuff, declutter stuff, little bits at a time. I just wanted to get it to where it was a comfortable situation. Oh, by the way, I love that blanket. It is so pretty. However, I only let Athena sleep with knitted or crocheted blankets because they're breathable, and we all know babies like to put things over their faces. So I've never had her use that one, but she got that one actually from the NICU and I absolutely love it. I actually end up hanging it on the wall later and you'll see it because I'm like, man, right now it's just in a bin and I hate it just being in a bin, but I really had nothing else to do with it. I wasn't going to put it in her crib or anything, but it ended up filling up that blank wall till I figure out more to do with it. And yeah, I love being able to see it. I thought it was so sweet that the NICU nurses all made these handmade quilts so that every baby that came into their NICU got to leave with a little present from them.
Maybe I was blind, known you forever while I tried to find someone that could be my great love. Right in front of me, I didn't realize you were my dream. So you took me by surprise. Oh yeah, even in my wildest dreams, I didn't think we were destined to be. And now you're laying next to me. Everything feels like, oh yeah, wanna give you every part of me. I can't believe this is reality. And now you're laying next to me.
All right, confession with all of these clothes, I did not end up finishing them on this day. Like I said, Xander ended up coming in and helping me with Athena, but she was getting very cranky, very tired. And I'm like, you know what? If you come in and help me for 10 minutes, I'm just going to put all the stuff that I hadn't done back into this laundry basket and I will deal with it tomorrow. I actually had to do more detailed through her stuff anyway because a lot of the clothes just didn't even fit her anymore. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna save this for another day because I'm not getting anything done at this point. But yeah, you can see she just wanted to be held. Even when I tried to like keep her distracted, she was over it. She wanted Mom or Xander or someone to pay attention to her. So Xander came in, helped me out, grabbed her. I quickly finished the rest of the room just to have it like done enough. Like if I was to get a call to say, hey, we want to show your house in 30 minutes, it was done. And I could deal with the rest a different time when I had more time to tackle it all.
Even in my wildest dreams, even in my wildest dreams. Oh yeah, even in my wildest dreams, I didn't think we were destined to be.
I really wanted to disguise as much of the cords and stuff on this top shelf as possible. So that's why I was just messing with stuff, moving it around. I didn't want the modem and everything to show. So plus I love seeing some of the kids' toys and stuff, which is why I don't use all the cubes. I was able to show the books, some of the stuffies and everything. And then, like I said before, hanging this quilt on the wall just to add a little bit of color and stuff to these rooms. There is more I want to get done, but I feel like for now, this is a really good way. And like I said, gotta love neutrals because that is what made doing this possible. But now for the best part, I'm gonna show you guys all the afters. I love the way it turned out. I think everything is very specific to the kids and personal. Things that, yes, I could do to the rooms, but overall, they're each very cozy and personal to themselves. But if you made it this far, make sure to drop me this emoji down in the comments below. I love knowing who my true MVPs are and make it all the way to the end. And like always, I love when you guys like, share, and obviously, if you are new, I would love if you would subscribe. But I'm gonna stop talking now and let you guys enjoy all of these after shots.
We're like one, and without you, I'm sinking. I'm always shining next to you. Oh, I got you. There's no reason to chasing pavement on my own. 'Cause you're here to stay every night and day. I'm delighted 'cause I got you.
I have always been afraid of changes, but you show me life is full of faces. Sometimes clouds got in our favorite places, but we were young and unaware.
Oh, I got you. There's no reason to chasing payment on my own. 'Cause you're here to stay every night and day. I'm delighted 'cause I got you. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I'm just fine 'cause I got you. Rain guiding my way before, pouring like a waterfall. I've cried a million tears and more to find out where I belong. We're not young, but we're still free and running. And this day has never kept us bothering. Every day we dance and life's been smiling. We're not young, still drunk in love.